No phone, no light switch, no lock on the door. Just you, a small fire, the people next to you, and everything in the darkness that wants to kill you. This is not a history lesson. This is survival. One night, 50,000 years ago, and by the end of this video, you will understand why your heart still races when you hear a sound in the dark. Because that feeling was not an accident. It was built into you by nights exactly like this one. Let's begin. It is 6 in the evening. The sun is dropping fast, and your ancestors know something that modern humans have completely forgotten. Sunset is not the end of the day. Sunset is the beginning of the most dangerous hours. Everything changes when the light dies. The animals that feared your ancestors during the day become something else entirely at night. Leopards, hyenas, cave lions that stood taller than any lion alive today. All of them built for the dark, all of them hunting. And your ancestors, completely blind, no night vision, no claws, no speed. What they have is fire and each other, and 50,000 years of accumulated fear that has been refined into something incredibly useful. Instinct. The camp is preparing. Everyone moves with a purpose that does not need to be explained because it has been performed every single evening since before anyone can remember. The fire is built up. Not a cooking fire, a wall of light. The bigger the fire, the larger the circle of safety. The larger the circle of safety, the further back the darkness stays. Children are pulled in close. The youngest ones do not need to be told. They already know. Something inside them has always known. They press themselves against the adults and watch the tree line with wide, quiet eyes. And then the sun is gone. Just like that, one moment there is orange light on the horizon, the next moment there is nothing. The world beyond the firelight becomes a solid wall of black. Your ancestor sits at the edge of the firelight and stares into it. He cannot see 20 feet in front of him. But somewhere out there, something can see him perfectly. The sounds begin almost immediately. This is the thing nobody warns you about when they talk about ancient life. The noise. The prehistoric night was not quiet. It was loud in a way that modern humans have never experienced. Insects in volumes that are almost impossible to imagine. Frogs, birds that only wake at dark, and underneath all of it, occasionally, sounds that do not belong to anything small. Something large is moving in the dark to the north. The camp freezes. Every conversation stops. Every person turns toward the same direction at exactly the same moment without anyone giving a signal. Because 50,000 years of nights exactly like this have made this response completely automatic. They listen. The sound moves. Slowly. It is not running toward them. Not yet. It is circling, testing, measuring the fire, measuring the group. The oldest hunter in the group stands up slowly. He picks up his spear. He does not throw it. He holds it at his side and faces the darkness and simply stands there. Visible, present. A signal that says we are here and we are watching and we are not easy. For 3 minutes, nothing happens. And then the sound moves away. North and then west, and then gone. Whatever it was decided the cost was too high tonight. The camp breathes again. A child starts crying. An older child immediately tells them to be quiet with a seriousness that no child today would ever need to have. This is what ancient childhood was. Not innocence, awareness. By 8 in the evening, the camp has found its rhythm. The acute danger has passed, at least for now, and the fire is holding. People begin to talk. Quietly. There is no singing tonight. Noise that travels too far in the dark is a signal you do not want to send. The conversation is practical at first. What was seen today? Where the animals were? Whether the water source to the east is drying up, and whether the group needs to move soon. Moving is not a simple decision. Moving means leaving behind everything familiar. The paths you know, the hiding places you know, the geography that has kept you alive because you understand it. Moving into unknown territory at this time of year with children and elderly and not enough stored food is not an adventure. It is a gamble with lives. And yet sometimes there is no choice. And everyone around this fire has had this conversation before. And they will have it again. And eventually they will move, and some of them will not survive the move. This is the weight your ancestors carried every single night. Not just the darkness outside, the uncertainty inside. The knowledge that every decision is a question with no guaranteed answer. By 10, the children are asleep. The adults take turns at the edge of the firelight, not formally, not with assigned shifts. Someone is always awake because someone always wakes up. Because sleep in the ancient world was never deep, never safe enough to be deep. This is something scientists discovered only recently. Ancient humans did not sleep for 8 hours straight. They slept in 2 separate periods with a wakeful gap in the middle. During that gap, they were not anxious or restless the way a modern human lying awake at 3 in the morning feels. They were alert, purposeful. It was not insomnia. It was the night shift. Your ancestor is in that middle period now, sitting at the fire while the others sleep, feeding small pieces of wood to the flames, listening to the dark. A sound, close, different from the others. He is on his feet before he has consciously decided to stand, spear in hand, eyes wide, every system in his body flooded with the chemicals that make slow men fast and quiet men, loud and tired men suddenly, completely awake. He stares into the dark. A pair of eyes, reflecting the firelight, low to the ground, 20 feet away, watching him. For a moment that lasts much longer than a moment, they look at each other. The fire crackles, the sleeping camp breathes, the eyes do not move. He takes one step forward and raises the spear and shouts. The eyes vanish. Into the dark, gone in less than a second, nothing left but the sound of something running away through dry leaves. He stands there for a long time, heart slamming, hands shaking slightly, staring at the place where the eyes were. Then he sits back down, adds wood to the fire, and does not sleep again until first light begins to show on the eastern horizon. When the others wake, they do not ask what happened in the night. They can tell something happened. They can see it in his face and in the size of the fire and in the way he is sitting. He tells them quietly what he saw, what he did. They listen without drama, because this is not a story. This is Tuesday. This was every night, not once, not sometimes, every single night for 50,000 years before the first wall was ever built to sleep behind. And here is the part that should stop you for a moment. Every single person alive on this planet right now is descended from someone who survived those nights. Not one exception. Every grandmother and grandfather, going back further than you can imagine, sat beside a fire in the dark and made it to morning. You are not descended from the ones who were taken. You are descended from the ones who stayed awake, the ones who heard the sound and picked up the spear, the ones who kept the fire going when they were exhausted and frightened and had every reason to give up. That is what is inside you. So the next time you feel afraid of the dark, the next time a sound wakes you at 3 in the morning and your heart pounds for no reason you can see, remember where that came from. That is 50,000 years of survivors living inside your chest. Subscribe, because next time we go back even further, and the nights get even darker.